Many countries have banned circuses from having wild animals in the big top, and while this is a step in the right direction, it leaves the fate of current animal residents unclear. This was the case for one bear who was living at a circus held in a small concrete enclosure its whole life. When one rescue group heard about this story, they wanted to set this animal free. What they didn't know was that they were about to start a serious battle. A bear named Napa spent his whole life only knowing cages and concrete. Although he was originally born in a zoo where he was able to roam within a vast enclosure, fate had other plans in store for the poor bear. Napa was sold to a Serbian circus called Corona. At an age when other young bears would be exploring nature, or at the very least their zoo enclosures, Napa was forced to perform tricks in front of a very large and loud crowd. It's unclear exactly what life at the circus was like because in 2009, Serbia banned the use of wild animals in their shows. Since the circus no longer needed him, he was forced to spend his days in a small cage. Though Napa didn't know it yet, he wasn't as alone in the world as it seemed. Four Paws, an international animal welfare charity that focuses on sustainable solutions for wild animals in need, heard about Napa's conditions and just had to take action. Volunteers knew that they needed legal help in order to relieve Napa from his inhumane life. They sought aid from local officials, but they also knew that the odds of rescuing him were slim indeed. Finally, in October 2016, Four Paws and local officials were able to confiscate Napa from the Corona Circus grounds. But due to lack of long-term facilities, Napa had to be placed in temporary holding at the Palić Zoo in Serbia. It wasn't until early July 2018, nearly 2 years later, that Four Paws was able to provide Napa with a permanent home, a home that could provide him with the best and most natural life possible. But getting Napa to this new home would be harder than anyone knew. Rescuers worked tirelessly with the Arosa Bear Foundation, the founder of a brand new bear sanctuary located in Switzerland, to complete the mission. Napa was going to become its very first resident, but the journey to bring him home wasn't going to be easy. Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story. Veterinarians sedated him and then transported Napa to the bear ambulance where he would travel for 28 hours and nearly 870 miles by van and cable car. The trip was challenging enough to stress out even the most adventurous human, let alone one very scared little bear. Even so, Napa was treated better on this trip than he ever had been. While traveling to his forever home, Napa was provided with an air-conditioned ambulance and had scheduled veterinarian checks along the way. However, that didn't stop the rescue team from running into problems. Napa was in the last leg of the trip when rescue crews ran into a slight problem. They needed to figure out how to transport Napa's 1,200-pound crate from the ambulance to the cable car. They'd need a superhero to carry something so heavy. Napa had come so far and the crew was not going to give up. Bear expert Karsten Hertwig of Four Paws said, "Transporting him from the bear ambulance to the gondola was a logistical masterpiece. I am very happy that everything went so well." Napa's rigorous trip was complete when he had finally arrived at the Arosa Bear Sanctuary in Switzerland on July 4, 2018. He was placed in an adaptation enclosure so that he could see his new home without being overwhelmed. He was provided with lots of love and treats consisting of fruits, vegetables, and meat. He was also showered down with a hose, a first for this bear who had been neglected for so long. As Napa looked around, he was curious and finally at peace in his new home, surrounded by the breathtaking Arosa Mountains. In no time, Napa was comfortable and ready to be released from his adaptation enclosure. Napa stepped out to explore his new home, which provided over an acre of land just for him. The sanctuary was filled with slopes, trees, and ponds for his enjoyment. We can't begin to imagine how exciting it must have been for the bear who'd spent his whole life in a cage. Something that Napa now loves to do is go swimming in his own personal pond. He can be seen entering the pond and then joyfully splashing around below. He's definitely making up for all the time he lost in that cage. The Arosa Bear Sanctuary officially opened in early August of 2018. It is a 3-hectare site containing species-appropriate enclosures and room for up to 5 bears. Looks like Napa won't be the only bear in town for much longer. Napa and the other bears have given the Arosa Bear Foundation hope. Their sanctuary offers visitors and tourists a place to become educated on animal welfare and nature conservation topics. Because animal lovers across the planet know there are other animals like Napa, they're working tirelessly to put a stop to circuses. Life in nature, however, can be quite a bit tougher. Napa made a quick adjustment to his new environment. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.